Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. How was your class today that you
You
gave?
what? Sorry.
How was your class today that you gave?
Which one of them is the fourth program that I'm doing
The one,
today?
the Krishna West one in Brazil.
Ah, was really good. Was alive. Was an interview. Hey Prabhu, Hare
Hmm.
Krishna. I just saw your comment on the event on the app. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As I said, like there's so much I'm doing so many things that I couldn't even look at the app. So we're expecting to read and discuss chapter 4 and probably 5 tonight. Yeah. Have you read these chapters before?
I've been reading them all afternoon, both the Prabhupada's Bhagavad-gita and the guide. Yeah, I have
That's
them both
amazing.
on audio tape too, so I've been listening to them too. Yeah,
Ah, so nice. Hey, Banu Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I never heard the audio of this one, so I don't know how it is.
they're nice. The one of the guide is by Hridayananda Goswami Maharaj himself. HTG himself is narrating.
Oh,
Yeah, he narrates his own book. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah,
I like it. I like it when authors, if you're listening and it's the author. I enjoy that. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
me
not
too.
familiar with when we turn our mics on or off here, if it will create feedback. You'll have to guide me through it. Do we leave our mics on and just listen and then come in when or do we turn our mics off and wait for you to ask us to participate?
Whatever you prefer. Feel free to open and close your mic whenever you prefer. You don't
Okay.
need to raise your hand to say something. You can just open the mic and talk. We
Okay.
try to I try to do it in a very horizontal way when everyone trying to make everyone feel comfortable to share their impressions, doubts, comments.
Yeah, I got that from watching the recordings from before. I'm familiar with the other participants up in your area, Mangal Artik and the other participants. I'm going to turn my mic off and listen for a little while. And when I have something to say, I'll turn it back on.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I'm just learning to get to know.
Yeah, we are all learning something new, right? Like we are doing the meeting now on Zoom, but sometimes I do meetings on Google Meet, and I think so different. It's not, but I'm more used to use Zoom anyways. Hey Banu, how are you doing?
Pretty good. It's been an eventful week here.
I saw that there was a party this weekend also, right?
Yeah, Sadhu Sangha is happening in New Orleans. I wasn't able to attend that, but there's an influx of visitors, um, just because of our proximity to New Orleans. And I think tomorrow evening after Sadhu Sangha is finished, we're expecting to have a sort of after party here. So there should be lots of kirtan tomorrow night.
That's awesome. Or Hare Krishna
Where are
Life,
you?
it's party every day.
I live at New Taliban.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw I saw a bunch of the opening posts and stories and stuff. It's
Yeah, it was
wow, 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 wow.
spectacular. It was
Yeah.
such a happy day.
Okay.
It's amazing. Mangalarti, it's at the temple still?
I think he actually went to Sadhu Sangha this evening. I guess he stumbled upon a extra ticket or something like that. So I think he's there right now.
Cool, cool. All right, so I think we can start. Um, let me share here. Does someone would like to read?
I can start us off.
Okay.
Okay. Chapter 4. The Lord said, I taught this imperishable yoga to Vivishwan. Vivishwan told Manu. Manu spoke to Ikshvaku. King, I can't see. Sorry. King sages thus learned it as received in disciplic succession. After a great time here, it was lost. Today I teach you this same ancient yoga, indeed this supreme mystery, for you are my devotee and friend. Prema, are you just wanting us to read the highlighted portions?
No, actually, this the chapter 4 and 5, folks, it's very short. So I start to highlight this for my personal study, but feel free to read all the content if you want to, and pause to comment whenever you want to also.
Continue then. Arjuna said, your birth is later. Vivishwan Swan's birth is earlier. How is it that at first you taught him? The Lord said, both you and I have passed through many births, Arjuna. I know them all. You do not. Scorcher of foes, even though I am the unborn, unchanging soul and Lord of beings, I appear by my self-power, standing upon my own nature. Bharata, whenever Dharma weakens and Adharma surges, I then manifest myself to deliver the righteous, destroy the wicked, and restore Dharma. I appear in every age. One who thus knows in truth my divine birth and deeds never again takes birth upon giving up the body, but comes to me, Arjuna. Yeah, we're pretty lucky that even though we are living in the material, it makes me think about this, that we're living in this material world in the age of Kali Yuga, that we are so close to when Krishna appeared to reinstate Dharma. And we're lucky we came somehow. We are here talking about it right now. We're very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. And having association with devotees and spiritual masters and being able to read the Bhagavad-gita.
Someone else would like to share something about what we've read? I agree with you, Kala, because historically, it's not so much time that Sri Chaitanya came, but in our conception of life, it looks like a long time, right?
And we're also living in an age where it's very simple to take up this spiritual practice. If we take it sincerely, the Yuga Dharma is chanting the holy name, and we're living in a good age. We're very blessed.
Besides all the problems, all the issues of this world,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Besides that.
Besides what is bad is good.
Mm-hmm. But those issues, if we have um, the right ideas and realization and visions, those issues help us in our spiritual life.
If you have the mentality of Queen Kunti, right, you can try to use it in a way that the challenge will make you grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Would like to continue read or someone else?
I can try
Which,
reading. You want to try? Go ahead, Bandu.
yeah, sure. Which paragraph were we at?
Freed of
Freed of
passion.
passion? Okay. Freed of passion, fear, and anger, absorbed in me, many found shelter in me. Purified by austerity and knowledge, they came to my state of being. However anyone approaches me, I accept them in just that way. Human beings wholly follow my path, Partha. Longing for success in actions, people here offer to deities. Success born of action comes quickly in the human realm. According to the divisions of mode and action, I created the four Varna system. Though I made it, know me as the changeless non-maker. Actions do not taint me, nor do I covet actions' fruits. One who thus knows me is not bound by actions. Knowing this, even the ancients, seeking liberation, performed action. Therefore, perform action exactly as did the ancients in ancient times. I don't really have much to say on the second paragraph, but in that first one, the highlighted portion, however anyone approaches me, I accept them in just that way. Um, I feel like there's a lot to unpack in that little verse there. Again, I don't have much to speak on it, but it sounds really sweet that that Krishna accepts us, as we are, as we approach him. He's appreciative, of where we're coming from and how we're actually trying to endeavor for him. It just seems kind of sweet.
I agree with you. I highlighted this part because for me, this component of authenticity, it's so important. It's so important because if you want to develop a real relationship with God, with Krishna, you need to be able to be yourself. There's no way for one to be in a relationship if you cannot be yourself. You just won't be interested in this relationship anymore, right? So in the same way, if you want to have, if you want to clear our connection with Krishna, we need to be able to show up as we are. And that's what Krishna is saying here. Come as you are, come as you are. I accept all. I'm not judging you. And I think this so blissful because this is love, right? This is compassion. This is embrace the personality that you have, not trying to fix or change anything. There's a lot to unpack, as you said.
Yeah, and in the Srila Prabhupada's translation too, in one of these verses, Krishna says, everyone follows my path in all respects. And it's kind of like what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, how like Krishna says elsewhere too, that like there's not a single blade of grass that can move in this whole creation that's, outside of his jurisdiction or his will or something like that. And you know, it's it just seems like it's laid out for us in a really nice way.
Like also like you mentioned, Prema, about how he doesn't judge us. And you said Krishna doesn't judge us, and like we sit around in our in our minds judging people, and there's so much Krishna could judge me for. So many things that Krishna could judge me for that I'm not proud of, and um, he doesn't. He accepts us. He accepts our intention. He accepts us taking one step to him. We take one step to him, he'll take two to us, and it's pretty sweet, very very sweet actually. That he doesn't judge us. He just sees our intention, sees our devotion, and gives us credit. It doesn't take anything away.
Yeah,
I think,
other people can judge my actions, but Krishna can see all the nasty things in my heart, and he doesn't even hold that against me, what to speak of what I actually do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yes, the super soul is, oh, Prabhu, you're not listening. Your mic is closed. No? Okay. The super soul is always witnessing everything, right? So sometimes we don't say things to someone and we are thinking we have our own opinions about someone else and we think, oh, no one knows this. Well, Krishna is witnessing everything. 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 And Kala, you said that every step that we give, Krishna give two in our direction. The correct, I was trying to remember here if it's 10 or 100. It's more than this actually, but I don't
Right.
remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember
I need
either.
to check on the
Yeah.
database.
But it's the same sediment, right? And we take, yeah, he multiplies it for us. Yeah.
What's that pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna was a baby? Some lady offered him some fruit or something, and he paid her with like this basket full of jewels or something like that. It's been a while since I read it, but it seems like that. Like you offer Krishna some mango or something, and in return we get closer closer to bhakti, and it's like, what kind of trade is that? You make him like some chapatis or something, and eventually you get Krishna prema. It's like, how is that fair?
That's right, because Krishna doesn't need anything we offer him because he has everything already. Everything that we are offering him is his. It's his energy, but we're offering him is the devotion, and that's what he covets from us.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of the only thing he doesn't have, isn't it? Like he has all the mangoes, but he doesn't have the sweetness that you can put in them.
Yeah.
My personal experience with Krishna giving back was I started chanting 16 rounds in June, last June. And by December, I was in touch with Krishna West, and I was singing the prayers of Lord Shiva, and in it it says, I think your real benediction would be to allow me to associate with other devotees. And I came to Krishna West in December. It's been 6 months now. I've been in Krishna West, and it's made all the difference. And I'm getting my courage to go to more book studies and get online. And I got myself an iPad and following Krishna service. He's multiplied my wanting to chant 16 rounds again into something I do every day and have built upon it too. I I chant the prayers of Queen Kunti in the morning now, the last 3 weeks. I'm getting to know those prayers too, because I've been listening to a lot of Haridananda Goswami Maharaj's lectures and inspired me. So I've really looked up to him as a guiding factor. That takes us to our next verse, where it says the example of previous bona fide devotees, or following the example of previous bona fide devotees in Prabhupada's purport. It talks about how we need to follow the example of previous devotees, especially the exalted personalities we have, like Srila Prabhupada and Acharya Dev. Beside that.
Oh, this is amazing, Prabhu. This is amazing. Yeah. I think that this commitment of chant 16 rounds is so valuable because it's a commitment between you and Krishna. It's your time. It's your time. And as Banu said, Krishna doesn't need anything. But the fact that you're trying to connect with Krishna makes everything so special.
Sorry, they said it's my special quality time with Krishna. That's how I look at it. In the morning, I get up and it's me and Krishna together for an hour and a half, 2 hours between 6 and 8. That's what I do. Everybody knows that's what I do. Yeah.
That's great. I did a Japa seminar, a workshop with Mahatma Prabhu, and he was talking about Japa walk, right? And he said, well, there is no one in the world that I've walked so many times as Krishna. So I spent so much time with this friend, this special friend, that this is much more than I could stay with anyone in my life. That's very special.
And that was a great workshop. Prima and I took it together. And I just, before class today, I just got back in from a japa walk, and it's the same thing. You know, you're there, you're saying Krishna's name, he's with you, and it's great. We should share that japa seminar again to the group. It was recorded, it's on YouTube.
You can share the link on the group if
Yeah,
you want
I'll do it
to.
after. Yeah, I'll do it later.
Yeah. I think that it's offered on his website also, but I'm not sure. But I do know that on the YouTube channel of ISKCON Toronto, it's available.
Mm-hmm.
Let me back to share the screen here. Does someone would like to read?
I'll try. If I have to mute it, it's because I'm at the park and they're running mini bikes by and it goes real loud. So if they come by with the mini bikes, you gotta mute. But what is action? What is inaction? Even sages are confused here. Thus, I shall explain action to you, knowing which you will be free from evil. I just want to say who's talking here. The authority himself, the man himself. You know, that's the whole reason I'm into this, because the man himself is speaking. I shall explain action to you, knowing which you shall be free from evil. I take Krishna as the absolute truth, the supreme only, and what he says is true. And indeed, one must discern action, one must discern wrong action, and one must discern inaction. Deep is action's way. 17. One who can see inaction and action and action and inaction is discerning among human beings and is linking while performing all activities. 18. While the discerning say that one whose every endeavor is devoid of selfish intent is a sage whose karma is burnt by fire, knowledge fire. 19. Giving up attachment to action's fruit, ever content and independent, though engaged in action, one actually does nothing at all. 20. Free of longing, with mind and self restrained, abandoning all ownership and performing action only to sustain the body, one incurs no sin. From what I understand, devotees or people who surrender to Krishna are free from karma. At least that's what the purport says.
Yeah, yes. Uh, on the second chapter of the Gita, Krishna emphasized that Arjuna needs to fight, doesn't matter the result of the battle, right? So here Krishna is continuing giving instructions to Arjuna, saying that it's important to do your duty. So it's not inaction that will be the best way. And sometimes we struggle because we have many challenges in your life and all the options doesn't looks like the better option, but we need to choose one of them. So that's what I think particularly when I read these verses.
Yeah, and Krishna saying you to Arjuna, you have to fight. But he's talking about us when we do actions, where our actions are devoted and turned towards Krishna. They're not just selfish. They're not, just for our own sense pleasure or gratification. They're actions. The best actions we can do are action for Krishna and service. Yeah.
I was inspired by Acharya Dev to, I don't know how to preach. I never have, but to at least try to learn how to preach, learn how to carry the message. Don't go to Radhakund and want to live there or something, don't isolate. Try to get out there and preach in my community. I'm in the San Fernando Valley and it's all Christian. And I see them all becoming devotees somehow or another. I had that vision somehow or another, get a book table going somewhere, something or another. He lit a fire under me. And I'm not sedated anymore. For many years I was. I wasn't thinking about anybody but myself as a devotee. And now because of the association of Krishna West and other devotees and Acharya Dev, I had the desire to, here they come. I had the desire to preach, to learn how to preach somehow.
This is very special. We cannot listen the bike, okay? At least until you close the mic, we didn't listen anything, Prabhu. Um, what I was about to say something. Oh yeah. Uh, when we read the Gita for the first time, when we are discovering Krishna consciousness, we tend to think, okay, let's see what this can do for me, right? But after a few years, after study and try to develop our consciousness in a higher state of mind, we change the question. So instead of think what this can do for me, it's okay, what I can do to try to retribute all of this treasure that I receive. And this is so important, right? Because everyone has their own way, everyone has their own personality. Like even Krishna West programs, they are different in the same way that every temple it's different. Every temple has their own mood, every altar is different, the deities have their own special way. Every devotee is different. So if Krishna is seeing this sincere desire of you to try to help, to try to preach, Krishna will give you the tools. Uh, will give you challenge, but also the solutions. Will put people in your life to make your path smoother, and things will happen. Sometimes you just don't know how exactly, but this is the role of Krishna. And this is where we try to control the situation, right? So I can tell by myself. I was in a situation very without association, and this was disturbing me a lot. So I started to think about what I could do to change the situation instead of put myself in a place of victim of, oh, I don't have association, so bad, what I can do. So I try to connect online with lots of devotees and groups of Bhakti practitioners of Krishna West and other projects that are Krishna West style, watching temple lives daily, chanting my rounds, trying to do my seva, even if when you live in a place without devotees, there is always service that you can do, right? There is always something. And then after a few months ruminating this idea, there was a point in my life that I was like, okay, I got to Krishna. I just need to start. Even not knowing exactly why and when or how, I will try to start. And then things settle down. because when you have the courage to give the first step, as Krishna Kala said, Krishna will reciprocate with you. Krishna will help. That's what we say, right? Oh, Arjuna, I stand up and fight. So yeah, congratulations for showing up, Prabhu. We need more people with this mindset. I will back to share here this screen, folks. Okay. I think that we stop here in what is action, right? Or wasn't the other one? I'm sorry. Got lost here.
What is action?
Thank you,
What is
Prabhu.
action?
What is action? What is inaction? Even sages are confused here. Wasn't me the only confused, the sages were too. Joking. Thus, I shall explain action to you, knowing which you will be freed from evil. Indeed, one must discern action, one must discern wrong action, and one must discern inaction. Deep is action's way. One who can see inaction, and action in inaction is discerning among human beings and is linked while performing all actions. Interesting. This makes me think about the importance of pauses. This makes me think about when you need to reflect before make a decision. Hey Dina, welcome. Haribo. This makes me think that there is action, even if not apparent in reflections, right? Because let's think together. When we are reflecting about the next step, about what to do, you're not giving up of the battle. You were just taking your time to process what happened, think about, okay, that's the situation, let me think about the next step. And there is a certain type of action in reflect before give the next step. What do you all think? I don't know, this is something that passed on my mind. Maybe you have a different opinion. Me back to share here. Does someone would like to continue reading? We are on the last paragraph now.
Yep, I can read. The discerning say that one whose every endeavor is devoid of selfish intent is a sage whose karma is burned by knowledge fire. Giving up attachment to action's fruit, ever content and independent, though engaged in action, one actually does nothing at all. Free of longing, with mind and self restrained, abandoning all ownership and performing action only to sustain the body, one incurs no sin. Fully content with spontaneous gain beyond duality, free of envy, equal in success and failure, even acting, one is not bound. Karma is completely dissolved for one free of attachment, who is liberated, acting for sacrifice with mind fixed in knowledge. Now I'll read one more. The offering of is Brahman. Brahman pours Brahman oblation into Brahman fire, and by that full focus on Brahman action, Brahman alone is attained. I like that you did highlight equal and success and failure, because when if we're endeavoring for whatever in Krishna consciousness, and you know, our devotion, our action in Krishna consciousness is, it just, that means the world to Krishna. And it doesn't matter if we did something wrong, if we said a mantra a little bit mispronounced, or forgot a step in arti or something. It's our devotion, our action that is counted and is what matters.
Yeah, I'm Sanskrit illiterate. I can't pronounce Sanskrit for the life of me. I try to do the Om Brahma Brahma Go Brahma Hitaya Cha, but I I like the text 24 because in Prabhupada's purport he uses the word dovetail in here, and he used that a couple of times in his purports in this chapter. Dovetail, when you dovetail something, he was mentioning when you matter dovetail for the cause of the absolute truth regains its spiritual identity. So basically that means anything within reason, as Hridayananda Maharaj would say, we can use in Krishna service, as Rupa Goswami enunciated in his doctrine. We can use it in Krishna service. A microphone, a typewriter, an iPad, a car, etc., etc. Household tools, kitchen supplies. We don't have to live a renunciant's life. Modestly, yes, but not a renunciant life. We can dovetail it, and that was a gift I got from Prabhupada.
Yeah, this is a great point. Like, use whatever you need to serve Krishna, right? Me particularly, I felt very inspired by Srila Chairdev in the way that he used technology. Uh, He saw all these chance in technology, right? The cell phone, the pager, the computer, even AI like YouTube, and he learned how to use it everything, to use everything with the purpose of share Krishna consciousness. And I think this admirable because I can tell by my mom, she's younger than him, and she doesn't know how to use half of the tools. So it's again when you have the motivation to serve, the desire to serve, Krishna use you in a good way, empowers you, giving you the facilities, giving you the knowledge, right? Krishna says when he's describing what he is in the material world, he says that I'm the ability on the man, right?
Yeah, I mean in Prabhupada's translation of it too. I mean, he even says um that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. So anything like you can't offer Krishna a mundane thing because upon offering it's not mundane anymore. So like all this technology and Zoom meetings and computers and cell phones and all that, if you're using it in Krishna's service, it's 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 of a spiritual nature, and if we're performing devotional service, then we're immediately put on the spiritual platform. Like it's no longer material at that point because it's in relation to Krishna.
Yeah, I agree with you, Prabhu. And this shifts our consciousness also, right? Because we stop to think that we stop to try to divide our life into material or spiritual. If you want to practice bhakti, everything will be spiritual. Everything can be spiritualized. All the challenges, all the blessings, everything, everything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the readings I'm doing right now, in Bhagavatam, there's kind of this common theme where actually the only material thing is my conception of what is essentially spiritual. Like even here in my office, like I'm not always I'm not always 100% Krishna conscious. But there's, I have a little Gaura deity and I have pictures of Krishna and Prabhupada and Acharya Dev, and these spiritual things are here, and the only thing that's lacking is is my spiritual consciousness. But the things are spiritual in nature. It's only my material conceptions that are kind of putting a damper on that.
Yeah, well, such a blessing to have an altar in your office, Prabhu. This is a blessing for sure. But even when you said that you're not in Krishna consciousness, you are able to notice how the modes of material nature are acting. And this is very valuable as well. Let me back to share here. I don't know if someone would like to add something else. Someone would like to read? We stop on the second paragraph.
At some yogis,
Yeah.
some yogis worshipfully sacrifice to gods alone. Some, by sacrifice alone, offer sacrifices to the Brahman fire. Others offer senses such as hearing into the self-control fire. Others offer sense objects such as sound into the sense fire. Some offer all sense actions or breath actions into the yoga fire of self-control ignited by knowledge. So too, some strivers of strict vows enact object sacrifice, austerity sacrifice, yoga sacrifice, or knowledge sacrifice by sacred study. Some offer in-breath to out-breath or out-breath to in-breath. Stopping in-out breath movements, they rely on breath control. Some restrain eating and offer in-breaths to in-breaths. All these do indeed no sacrifice. Sacrifice removes their sins. Eating the nectar remnant of sacrifice, they go to eternal Brahman. O best of Kurus, one who does not sacrifice has not this world. How then the next?
Thoughts, considerations, doubts.
A lot of our favorite parts is eating the nectar remnant of sacrifice, eating prasadam. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm that the very last sentence there, one who does not sacrifice has not this world, how then the next? Um, there's this song I used to know when I was in high school, and there's this line that kind of stuck in my head, and he says, You wasted life, why wouldn't you waste the afterlife?" And it just kind of reminded me of that. Like, I guess Krishna's saying here that the purpose of this world is sacrifice. Like even that was Brahma's first word was tapas, right? Austerity. And so the whole purpose of this is to perform some sacrifice or some austerity. And if we waste if we waste what we have now, then of course we'd continue wasting if we were to be given something better.
True.
If we're able to squander this, then it'd be just as easy to squander something better.
And everyone's does sacrifice for something, even that one says, no, I don't sacrifice anything. Oh, yeah, you do. You sacrifice your time for the sake of gaining money because you need to pay your expenses, or you sacrifice whatever. We all are doing sacrifice in different ways, right? Not necessarily sacrifice needs to be a yagya fire sacrifice or a pilgrimage. There's many types of sacrifice.
And all the sacrifices we do that aren't giving back to Krishna in a Krishna consciousness mindset, we, as it said in the Gita, we incur sin. And we're supposed to ever offer everything back to Krishna. You know.
Yeah,
This
there's
is all
some
confirmed.
verse I can't quite remember where there's these questions are being asked like what have the caves closed their mouths, have the trees stopped dropping fruits, have the rivers stopped running, and that kind of thing. And all these sacrifices we perform, we're trying to kind of set ourselves up for some future enjoyment. But it's already been set up, that's everything's taken care of, all the birds have food, we have food, and we like to take credit like we're the doer, like, oh, I've got these bills paid, I've got this house built. Um, but if we just direct all that sacrifice to Krishna, all that would still keep going on, there'd still be a roof and some food and all this other things. The only difference would be is we'd actually be happy instead of full of anxiety.
This is all confirmed in the chapter 4 of the guide, sacrifice or offering, I think it was. I was reading that before I read this chapter 4, and it talks about sacrifice and how we are sacrificing. Everyone's sacrificing something, and you should be directed towards Krishna. But yeah, everybody's in anxiety. Everybody's full of, not the word that was used in the Krishna book. Everybody's full of just anxiety, anxious. I think Vakunta means no anxiety.
Vaikuntha means no anxiety, right?
Yeah,
So when you think about the celestial planets, we are in an intermediary planet, right? So we know that things can get worse, but also things can get much better. So imagine live without anxiety, in a peaceful state of mind all the time. It's almost inconceivable for us, right?
Yeah, well, there's anxiety there, but it's all centered on Krishna. Like, what if he gets a splinter on his foot, or what if the
right.
what if the gulabjamins aren't the right sweetness, or something like that? Like, there's anxiety still, but it's pleasurable. Whereas here, it's like, oh no, the bank might take my car.
Right.
The
That's true. The goats
transcendentals.
feel anxiety to serve Krishna. Really good point,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
yeah. There's transcendental anxiety, and this anxiety of separation from Krishna, the gopis feel, anxiety to please him. That's the ultimate type of anxiety we want. Not this nasty anxiety here in the material world that makes us so stressed.
Who would like to continue reading?
read. Thus, manifold sacrifices have spread facing Brahman. Know them all to be action-born. Knowing thus, you will be liberated. Partha, scorcher of foes. Better than object sacrifice is knowledge sacrifice, for each and every action culminates in knowledge. Learn this by submission, full inquiry, and service. Knowers will teach you knowledge, for they have seen the truth. Thus, knowing you will not return to illusion, Pandava, for you will thus see all beings in the self. That is in me. That's 33, knowledge sacrifice. Acharya Dev speaks a lot about that, Buddhi, and our reasoning. We can sacrifice our knowledge in learning about all sorts of mundane things, or we can sacrifice our time and knowing and getting to know the purpose of life and reading scriptures and discussing them, having katha and sangha with other devotees to sacrifice our time and our knowledge to better ourselves and our place in the world. Not the place in the world, but our position to become pure, to purify our hearts, to become a pure devotee.
About this point, I reckon that is very valuable to ask ourselves why we want so much knowledge. What's the purpose of this? Because it's like, if your purpose, it's like, I don't know, study to have a degree, only put a paper on the wall won't change the world. So when you apply the knowledge, then you have something that can be valuable. But the knowledge itself, if you don't apply, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right?
Like Prabhupada says a lot, he's like these rascal scientists, they can be so smart and like genius in material things, but they're still fools because they don't have the knowledge of the real truth, what real knowledge is to be liberated or whatever.
Yeah, we need to be wise about how to present the Vedic philosophy, because the point here is that one doesn't need to neglect science to cultivate spirituality, right? No one needs to choose between one thing or another, but know why you are inquiring and why you are trying to develop this knowledge.
Yeah, I was listening to a talk by Harry Parshad. I think it was an older one. But he gave this. He said something that just really stuck in my mind. He said, "Find the person who can give you the highest fruit from the tallest tree." And it really stuck in my mind. And I feel like, that's what we get with the Vedas, it's like it's the taste of it. Like it provides you with something, whereas a lot of people kind of stop, like a lot of these material sciences or even like less evolved spiritual paths and stuff. It's almost like they found some, unripe fruit halfway up the tree and they stopped there to eat it, and it didn't provide anything, it's not sustaining in any way, it's not sweet. It doesn't really satisfy. But they stopped halfway there and started eating that fruit. And so I don't know. It's just a little quote that I really like, just to try and find the highest fruit on the tallest tree. And I feel like the deeper we get into Bhagavad-gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it's like these trees get very high.
Yeah, it's true. And that's why we offer prayers, right, to our spiritual masters, because they are able to remove this veil this darkness of ignorance, and then we can see it clear. We are almost finishing the fourth chapter. We won't be able to go to the fifth tonight, but we're having a so productive discussion here. My point of view, I'm really enjoying. Who would like to continue reading?
Are we at a even if?
Yes.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know.
Even if you are most sinful among all sinners, by the knowledge boat alone you will cross over all evil. Arjuna, as blazing fire turns kindling into ashes, so knowledge fire turns all karma into ashes. In this world there is no purifier like knowledge. In time, one perfected in yoga personally finds it in self. A faithful person gains knowledge and is devoted to it, with senses fully controlled. Gaining knowledge, one soon achieves supreme peace. The unknowing, unbelieving, doubting soul comes to nothing. Neither this world nor one higher nor joy belong to the doubting soul. Dhananjaya, actions do not bind one who has renounced action through yoga. Slash doubt by knowledge and regain self. Your heart's doubt is born of ignorance. Therefore, severing it with the knowledge sword, stand on yoga. Stand up, Bharata. Um,
Oh,
I like how it's repeated a lot in this chapter, I think, how you're not really bound by karma when you're performing devotional service or striving for the absolute. And I've heard it said a lot too that devotees, it might look like they're still interacting with karma, but it's actually Krishna kind of tailors it in such a way so that whatever would be karma to a materially bound person, he rearranges it in such a way that it actually helps you come closer more quickly. So whatever would be karma, it turns into a ladder instead of a roadblock, that you can just climb to Krishna.
well said. Yeah. I thought very, very interesting this. So knowledge fire turns all karma to ashes. In this world, there is no purifier like knowledge. Because once you see it, you cannot unseen. Right? Your point of view change, your vision of the world changes, and then you're not in the same place as before.
I just like to reiterate where we're getting back to when we started the meeting about I chant rounds and I come to meetings because I have deep feelings for Krishna. I mean, after all the time I've been exposed to Krishna consciousness through Srila Prabhupada and his devotees, I can actually say, I mean, if I could use the word love, I have an affection for Krishna. That's the reason I get up and chant in the morning. That's the reason I do meetings. I don't know if that's appropriate to say among devotees. I mean, I also have my faults. I'm, I'm, I list my faults, my pros and my cons, and I try to work on both and balance the two. And I'm taking psychology courses and learning how to use I statements and all that. But my motivation is all about Krishna. And I got to say, I'm motivated by affection for Krishna. I mean, I can't help it. When I think about Krishna, he's he's captivating me. I just want to speak out and say that that's my experience for myself. I mean, it's been 30 years. I must have something in this format by this time. He's been with me the whole time. Even before I was a devotee, he led me to. That's,
It's pretty attractive.
yeah,
He is the most attractive, right? It's Krishna. I think that this is the perfect way to close our meeting tonight. Thinking
Oh, that was
about,
good.
hey Dina,
No, that was really great. Thank you for sharing that. I'm often having to check myself because there's this thing I'm always trying to balance out is that like having a soft heart but also protecting it. And yeah, it's just been a journey with that. um so and that's it's been a journey before I even came into bhakti, but I think bhakti really, you know, because bhakti, you need a heart where it can grow. And yeah, so anyways, I'm kind of rambling today, but really appreciate this group very much. Thank you very much for today.
thank you for sharing. Yeah. In our personal relationship with Krishna, we have this space, right, to be vulnerable and to share our hearts. And this is the goal of bhakti, right? To share with Krishna, develop a real connection. And also it's one of the 6 love exchanges between the devotees. Review your mind in confidence, review what's in your heart, and listen someone else also in a place of love and trust. Yeah, this is very special. Thank you for bringing this. Does someone would like to add something else? Doubt, comment, complaints?
I was just appreciating that we all really just want to be happy, and Krishna consciousness is the only thing that could make us happy, and so it's really just if somehow or other Krishna could engage me in his service, then I could actually be happy.
Yeah. Has given the chance, given you the opportunity, right?
Yeah, just put me in the spot and make me do the thing and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing.
I was just thinking too about going back about how attractive Krishna is. He's, so attractive. Like everything about him, he's just attracting us to him. We might not ever see him. None of us have seen him. Well, I haven't seen him. But like, there's a pull. There's a pull towards him that is just like you. I can't stop going towards because it's attractive. Everything about him, about his pastimes, the philosophy, putting it into practice in life, it's attractive, and it just makes me want more and more.
What does Krishna say in the Gita too, that all these things are just sparks of my splendor? Like
Mm,
everything that's opulent in this world, everything we can possibly be attracted to, a sunset or a flower or even mundane love or anything in the whole world that we can be attracted to, that's just a spark from
just a little
from
bit, yeah.
Krishna. So everything everyone's looking for, like everyone is chasing after Krishna. They just don't know. When
Hmm.
astronomers are amazed at celestial happenings or when philosophers are kind of blown away by their own speculations or something,
Yeah.
we're all just amazed at some piece of
Yeah.
Krishna without even recognizing it.
We find beauty in a flower, and we're just staring at it and appreciating how beautiful it is. It's just like you said, the spark of Krishna. That little bit of beauty that it makes us so happy is like unlimited in Krishna's presence in Goloka Vrindavan. I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I was raised in New Dwarka, Rukmini and Dwarkadish. Rukmini had the same dilemma with Krishna. She never met him, but she wanted him to marry her. And she sent a letter with the Brahmin to have her kidnapped. And that was her. She had the same dilemma. But I still am attached to the deities, Rukmini and Dwarkadish. I finally learned how to put them on my phone. I have them on my phone, so they're always there for me now, last couple of days. So I see Krishna in the deity, I see him in the taste of water, but to actually meet him and play with him and be in the spiritual world, you're right, Krishna Kaladas. That's something to look forward to. Something.
Yeah, it'd be pretty far out.
Well, it depends. Because if you think that Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma, he's not pretty far.
That's an
Yeah.
exercise Acharya Dave told me to exercise, seeing Paramatma in everyone's heart. I try as much as I can remember to see Paramatma in everyone's heart. Everyone I meet, all the birds, all the crows that are around this neighborhood, I'm in the country, everything, the trees, Paramatma, sting. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But not only the beauty itself, but being able to see Krishna in all the varieties of creation, right? Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your reflections.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hope to see you all next Sunday. Have a good week. Haribo.
Hare
Haribo.
Haribo.